Hey everybody, welcome to Magic Universe. So this message is timeless, and whenever you come across it, that's when your energy is a match to the message. All right, so here we go. All right, there's a very, very powerful message coming through. It's more of a message of everything read together versus like individual messages from individual cards. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of speak the overall message and then point to different areas in the spread where that comes out. Let me just show you the whole spread first because this doesn't show everything. So it looks like this. Oops, does that show? That last card at the bottom is awareness. I'll give you a better look at it when we get to it. But yeah. Okay, so there's some big energy coming through. You guys are going, it's coming to you, but you also have to choose to go through it. Okay? So kind of imagine it it's not really on a timeline because it's going to be a different I guess schedule you can call it for everybody, but for each of you individually there's a big energy that is ahead of you, that is coming towards you, but then you also have to choose to go through it. Okay, and so I'm seeing that here in the crossing initiation. And so imagine yourself, let me see, where's my magic wand so I can point. Imagine yourself standing, like if you look real close, there's a little figure right here with the shadow, right? Little figure, that's you. Here's the big energy. So this is showing it like a portal where you're going to portal through to the other side of either the next phase of your life, or what's coming to mind is you know how people talk about when you're, say, in your late 20s moving into your 30s, people go through this Saturn return thing. So I'm not an astrologer. I don't really know that much about astrology at all, except what I see other readers talk about when they talk about Saturn returns and other, like astrological readings and stuff like that. But they refer to it. It's kind of like this, for some of you, this will be about that, okay? Where you're crossing over into the next phase of your life, and it's almost kind of like how in some cultures, say like for, I believe it's Mexicans, right? They have the quinceañera where girls that are 15 have this like ritual, this party, and then like she becomes the woman. Like I think the dad is supposed to put high heel shoes on her or something like that, and then that signifies she's turning into a woman. In other cultures, there are other similar rituals, that people go through puberty. Like Jewish people go through some of that for, I think it's only boys. I'm not sure. But, from watching TV, this is where I'm gathering my references from. But this is talking about some energy that's similar to that. So whatever stage of life you are in, like apply it to your situation. You're standing on this side. There's some huge energy portal, that opening a window. For some of you, it could be an opportunity of some sort. Okay. Where you step through and then you're on the other side. But this is coming towards you, but you have to make the decision to step through it. And the decision I'm seeing right here, a fork in the road, okay? So some of you see this huge energy. You might not even know exactly what it is. For some of you, it might just be a feeling, okay? That, I feel like I'm walking towards something. Something is gonna happen. Something is coming towards me. I don't know what it is. It's not like a physical conscious thing where it's on your calendar and you know it's coming. For some of you, it might just be a feeling, okay, that there's a big energy, there's something coming, and you're standing here, and because you don't know what it is, you're kind of afraid of it. So you're at this kind of like fork in the road where you're looking at it and go, I don't know what to do. Should I walk towards it? Should I run away from it? I don't know what to do, right? This is a very positive energy reading. Your spirit wants you to know it's okay. Okay, this thing that's coming towards you, it's big, it's powerful, it's amazing. And they're with you. Night Ride. Your whole spiritual team has been gearing up, like getting ready to help you cross this initiation to this other side. Okay? And you're still going to be the same person. You're not going to change into a completely different person. The inner core of you will remain the same. It's more the matter of you're going to become more you, okay? In whatever ways you are holding yourself back from becoming your true self, this crossing, this portal, this big energy, whatever this ritual or situation is for you individually, for each of you, once it comes to you and you choose, you decide to step over to the other side and you cross over, you're becoming more you. This is a calling, okay? We have the Judgment card here. This is a calling. Your life is calling you in this direction. For some of you, this is a life calling, meaning it could be like a career decision. It could be, again, like for a lot of you, I feel like it's a phase of your life type of thing, right? So whether it be, I don't think any children are watching this where you're going through puberty, but, for some of you, if there happen to be anybody that's around that age, that's going from being a child to like a teenager or like, or maybe even like a teenager to adulthood, right? There's some phase of life that you're going through if you're, say, graduating from high school, or graduating from college, or graduating from some kind of trade school into, quote, the real world. It's kind of scary, right? It kind of feels like this, like, oh gosh, what's going to be on the other side? I'm not sure I want to walk through. Maybe I want to hang on to my childhood, right? Maybe I want to hang on to whatever this is that I'm familiar with. But once you cross over, you're going to become more you. Your spirit is calling you through this. Your entire spirit team is on this other side saying, come on over. It's okay. We're going to ride with you through this. All right. So life stages, right? What else could it be? For some of you, it could be motherhood. For some of you, it could be going from the stage of, I'm seeing like focusing on your life in terms of focusing on other people, to switching to focusing on your life in terms of focusing on your spirituality, like focusing on what is your own insides calling you to, your inner core calling you to, right? So for some of you, it might be something like that, where it's not like a super clear societal type of phase where people will have a label for it, right? Sometimes there's not a label for it. It's just an energy. So for some of you, this could be a spiritual awakening, spiritual enlightenment of some sort. Maybe on this side of the crossing, you're more rooted in physical reality. And then on the other side of the portal where you crossed over, then you've kind of like walked into this place where you've expanded beyond physical reality. And you're looking at life from the point of view of your spirit, right? From the non-physical realm. Okay. So, different things, okay, for different people. And there's a huge part of this message that's telling you to trust. And it shows up in the Night Ride card over here. It shows up in the Hierophant right here. When this card came out, like, I immediately knew they're saying trust. Trust in what you know. If any of you happen to be religious, right? if the Bible gives you comfort, if any of the religious teachings from whatever religion that you practice give you comfort, these three owls, I feel like they're saying trust in the wisdom. Actually, there's four of them. There's an owl over here too. Trust in the wisdom of what you know on the inside. There's nothing wrong with religion. I mean, I know I'm not religious, and I speak mostly of spirituality, which kind of extends beyond religion. It's kind of like the underlying wisdom, consciousness, or knowing that religions are based on, right? So there's a commonality in spirituality, like between all of the religions. But if you find that you connect with any specific religion that makes sense to you, okay, it's okay to use that, to trust in those teachings to help guide you through this crossing. Yeah, so the Judgment card, it also talks about a rebirth of some sort, right? Which completely makes sense in terms of like crossing this big energy that we have here. These two cards right here, Fairy of the Green World, the Natural World Needs You, and Intuitive Walking, talks about how you can ease yourself into this big energy, okay? Walking in nature, spending a lot of time in nature, letting yourself become one with nature as you're in it. So however that works for you in your lifestyle, if that means going to sit by a lake, going to the beach, dipping your toes in the ocean, you know, or just literally taking a walk in nature, looking at trees. There's this tree healing that I do sometimes where I just go up to a tree that feels nice, where I like the energy of the tree. I say hi to the tree and I just stand by it with my back towards the trunk. And it can be touching, but you don't have to touch it. And just let the energy of the tree dominate your auric field, and let the tree give you a healing and balance your energies out. So you can do stuff like that, okay? But yeah, so the bigger message is there's a big energy coming towards you, and your spirit team is helping to kind of guide you, call you through this. Those of you who are hanging back, unsure, they're saying trust, it's okay. And these are some ways that you can help like ease yourself into trusting, ease yourself, and you know, and then the religion thing that we talked about, like whatever teachings, messages, affirmations, whatever kind of thing that you can do to help yourself feel comfortable through this crossing. Because the thing about crossings, the thing about like big energies coming towards you, it's not really about the bigness and smallness of it. The reason why something feels big is because whatever energy that you're at right now, that other energy is different enough to make you really feel it, to make you really feel the difference between the frequency you're used to and then the frequency that's coming towards you, that you're gonna go through, right? And because of the energy like differences between the two aspects or two phases, that's why you call it big. Because if something was really close, you know, and you're being called to something that's like very similar to where you're already at, sometimes you just step across and you don't even know you've done it, right? But because of the energy difference, you can feel this is so different from where you are currently are. And especially the more scared you are of it, the more worried you are of it, then the bigger that gap becomes, because then it's like, oh my gosh, like how am I gonna leap to you know, get to the other side of this, right? And so as you ease yourself, either through like the walking, the being in nature, through the teachings, that you're familiar with, whatever makes you more comfortable. As you become more comfortable with the idea and you make the decision and you choose to say, you know what, I decide to go over there. It's not coming at me where I have no choice. I have a choice. I'm going to choose to go over there. Then the gap becomes lesser and lesser and lesser, and it becomes less big. You know what I mean? Then it becomes more comfortable, and then you can just like, oh, hey, I did it. I have been initiated. I did it. Okay. Okay. So, moving on to the imagination card. Imagination intrigues the soul and illuminates the heart. The imagination card could help you in the crossing, in making you more comfortable, imagining it the way you like it as you cross, right? Imagining yourself having the ability to do it, being comfortable while doing it, like imagining it the way it feels good to you as this energy comes towards you and as you go through this energy, okay? The other thing that I'm receiving from the imagination card is that as you make yourself, your frequency, your energy level match up to the energy of this crossing, as you get closer to it, you're going to receive messages from your spirit team on just information on what it's going to be like, on how to, just like successes that you will experience after you reach the next phase, in your next phase. So if, for example, this is a career thing, right? And you either enter into the world of your dream career, or you say you're one of those people who graduated and you're entering the working world or something like that, in your next job, like what kind of stuff is going to happen there. You're going to start to receive visions. You're going to start to receive just knowing of what it's like over there. And it's like you getting yourself excited about it, and then receiving imagery, receiving knowledge, receiving visions, messages of some sort, maybe even like dreams of like sleeping dreams that you receive when you're sleeping. You're going to receive messages and information, and that will kind of cycle the excitement. Like you get excited about it, and then the imagery you receive will also get you even more excited, and it'll start this kind of cycle going through where it builds up this excitement. And then as your excitement builds up and you're no longer afraid, and you're like, oh wow, now I'm really anticipating this in a very, very good way. This is going to be so fun. And there might, for those of you that are happening like that, it might even feel like a party, or you might actually have an actual party or a celebration of some sort to mark this point of time, so that you can always, like, you can refer back to it and remember it and going, oh wow, that was a great thing that happened right here, as I stepped up into the next phase, the next level, the next part of me, the next part of being me, right? And so yeah, this is really, really exciting. And we have Taiki, the luck card. So those of you, and I'm speaking back to this reluctance, because there's a lot of you, I feel like, that are in this place where you're reluctant. Maybe because you don't know what it is, or maybe it's because you're afraid of change or something like that, or maybe you just don't feel ready. But for whatever reason, whatever it is, for some of you, it could be that you are excited about it and you want it, but like, are you ready for it? Like that kind of a thing. Like, is my readiness, are my abilities up to par with what's necessary over there, like that stuff over there looks really good. Like, am I good enough for that? Like, some of you might be thinking that, right? And so I'm just seeing, for some of you, because there's this reluctance, or because there's this kind of like we were talking about, there needs to be a step up of some sort, right? Where your energy needs to match up with what's on this side in order to really have a smooth crossing. And for some of you, where it needs to be a little bit of a leap, and because you're not I think it's just your human consciousness part of you is just not preparing yourself for that leap. But that's coming anyway, regardless of whether you're ready for it or not. I'm seeing that that's why this person is blindfolded. It's kind of like, for some of you, this thing, you might not even see it coming, because your energy is like, it's not far enough away where it's not going to happen, but it's far enough away where you're not sensing it, because you're kind of like focused elsewhere. Okay, so for some of you, this might be a surprise. It's a good surprise. Could it be a winning of some sort, right? Could it be an inheritance of some sort? Something's going to change. There's a big change coming in your life. Some of you are not aware of it, but it's a good change. It's a good change. It's a lucky change. And okay, and I'm not saying any of you are going to win the lottery. Maybe some of you will, but think of it as a look at the energy of people who win lotteries, right? There are people who win lotteries. They don't know it's coming. I mean, they buy a ticket. They kind of forget about it. They win the lottery. And it's like their energy shifts from here to here, like real suddenly. And the reason why it's not always a very comfortable thing for people to win the lottery, and if you talk to them, if you read some of their stories, like, it really isn't. If your energy is not nowhere close to this kind of wealth, and you all of a sudden get up there, and it's like you're blind about it. You don't even know how you got there, right? And all of a sudden, windfall, and you're like immediately jumped into this level up here, and you're not used to it. It gets very uncomfortable, right? Because some stories are like, people then, like, all of a sudden, people come out of the woodworks and say they know you. Right? You don't know how to deal with it. You get a lot of attention from a lot of people you don't know, or from people that you used to know that you don't want to know anymore, right? So it's so funny that I'm showing you the level, and then the level where you're reaching, and it connects, like right there on that picture of the crossing. I didn't do it on purpose, but there you go. But one thing I did that did come to mind when I picked this card, when I saw this picture, is that painting of man and God, in like Michelangelo painting. I forget what it's called, but the fingers touch. That's what this picture made me think of. And in a way, that's that same energy, right? Here's you, man, right? Human, touching fingers with the bigger you on the other side. And we're saying the other side because as of right now, currently, you're still, before the big energy, right? So the big energy is coming to meet you. Your bigger self is coming to meet you, the human self, and you're raising your level of your frequency to connect and touch and blend with your source, right? And so, back to this, for those of you who are, quote, blind to it, like you're not expecting it, you don't know it's coming, or maybe your energy's just in a place where it's like it's a surprise of some sort, right? And it happens. Even though, everybody's going to say winning the lottery is a good thing. And again, we're using the lottery as a metaphor. I'm not saying any of you are going to win the lottery, but the quote lottery, whatever the lottery may be for you in each of your situations, this big energy, that it will be easier for you if you weren't so blind to it, if you were a little bit more like adjusted to that energy, so that it's not that big of a jump. Okay, so even though this is a good thing, it would be easier on you, either your physical body or like your mental, emotional stability, if you would ease yourself up to this by doing these types of things, right? To meet your spirit right here at that crossing. So you just step over and you're like, and it feels good. It's like stepping into a warm bath versus like stepping into like boiling hot water, right? You kind of want to ease yourself into it so that it's more comfortable, your journey, okay? So funny. Okay, so the last card that came up for you, awareness. Immediately, when I picked this card, universe said, go to the book. Okay. But I want to tell you, this is in regular tarot. This is also the magician card. Okay. So it's so interesting. I wasn't even thinking about this, but we were talking about the surprise, being blindfolded, not being aware. And then here's awareness. So awareness is actually a really good thing instead of being surprised by it. Awareness. So let's read from the book. And there's something else that's really important that happened, which I'll show you in just a moment. All right, awareness. This card is one of the key reminders that you already possess all of the tools to guide and direct you in your life, whether it's wisdom, intuition, psychic skill, creativity, self-motivation, love, willpower, physical ability, or just pure courage. They're all part of you. Once you learn to tap into and use them, you'll be amazed by the power and effect they can have. You have the ability to allow the universe to work in partnership with you. And I feel like that's what it is. Like, here's the universe, right? That big energy, and here's you. And it's like coming together with the universe so the universe can work in partnership with you. So that once you've crossed this big energy, now you and the universe are like in cahoots with each other, working on, whatever this thing may be for you, okay? Maybe it's a life phase, maybe it's a project, maybe it's a career, maybe whatever it may be for each of you, that now you're in harmony with the universe with it, okay? Okay, together you can manifest change, whatever the desire may be, and bring about a positive outcome. This card represents your ability to create your own reality, to set ideas into motion and watch them grow. This card is often drawn when you're ready to switch directions, start a new project, or change careers. So it might be that for some of you, okay? For that crossing, that initiation. Now is a time to use positive thoughts, visualizations. We talked about that with the imagination. And then the positive thoughts, coming from the nature healings, right? And then also for those of you who are into more like more structured kind of spirituality, like religion, right? Religious teachings, spiritual teachings. Now is the time to use positive thoughts, visualizations, and affirmations as you veer away from negativity. Knowledge is power and can lead to success. By having faith, keeping your willpower strong and directed, and by tapping into the tools that you possess, as well as calling on the magic from the universe. This channel is called Magic Universe. So I always get a little tingle when they're both mentioned in the same sentence. Or either one. Like, anybody mentions magic or anybody mentions universe, I always get a little tingle. As well as calling on the magic from the universe, you can accomplish anything and everything you set out to do. And so, yeah, the traditional tarot is the magician. Okay? So that's the magician for you. And so the other extra little thing that I was going to show you was, so right after I picked this card, universe said, read the book. So I flipped to the page and I read the book. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. I love this message. I will read it, in the video. And so I grabbed the next card on the deck to kind of use as a bookmark so I know which page to flip to. And look at this card. Truth. And this is also the judgment card from this deck. So you have 2 judgment cards. You're being called to your truth. Okay, so this is what's on this other side. There's no need to be afraid of what's there. It's a big energy, yes, but I'm trying to get it to focus. It's a big energy, yes, but the true you is on the other side of this. Your real truth, your authentic self is on the other side of this, and your spirit team is asking you, calling you, guiding you to go through to this other side and meet your self, capital self. Okay, meet the capital you right there, right there. So there's nothing to be afraid of. They're with you. Make this easy on yourself. Sometimes, coming to face our true selves is a little bit scary, because especially if you have any ideas of like unworthiness, of like feeling small or feeling like you're not good enough, is like I think this happens when, say, for those of you who are religious and you think about meeting God, right? Like who is God, and am I good enough to meet God? It's kind of like that. And in terms of spirituality and how I'm presenting it here and how I'm understanding it and how spirit and universe have been presenting it to me, is that we each are God, like all together. We each have a God self. And so it's our God selves that are meeting us right here. And there's nothing to be afraid of. And of course you're good enough. Of course you're worthy, because it's you. And just because you're human as well as spirit, the human you is never lesser than the God you. It's just the human you is just has a different role, in this play, in this theater of life, right? And it's all the same. And when you're blended with your spirit self, like right here at this point, like for those of you, this might be this enlightenment, awakening point, right? You come and you meet your spirit right there. You and spirit become one, and that's why we have this kind of connection where you're on the same frequency, right? This connection right here. You're the same. Human you, spirit you become one. You are the same, and of course you're worthy. Of course you're worthy. And I feel like some of you really, really need to hear that. Of course you're worthy. Okay, so what is all of this about? Like raising your energy, all this other stuff. It's really about raising your level of awareness of your true self, raising yourself to the true you, right? Raising your sense of worthiness within yourself, raising the value of you coming to know who you really are, and loving yourself, raising your self-love all the way up to here, so that you can meet your true self right here and going, yeah, I love you, you love me, I love me too, and that's what it's all about. It's this harmony right here. And so, however these messages sink into each of you differently, because you guys are all in different stages and phases, different situations in life, but that ultimate message of love, right, of worthiness, of your true self, like you can all relate to that. So however that fits into your situation, and how you receive this message to mean for you, okay, that's what it means. Okay, all right, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.